Welcome everyone, Maté Talk time. Good to be before you all. Hope everybody is well. I am the Maté ambassador and I'll tell you more about that in just a second. First, a little baby drink. Shift over and we begin. So I've been testing. For those who know, I am a little bit of a fanboy when it comes to all things Xerjoff. And I'm about to do another lineup. So I've been looking at, with my financier's permission, increasing or adding a few extras in my collection. And one of them that I'm looking at is the K collection. As for those who know, Chemi was the brand. It morphed into this beautiful looking bottles that Xerjoff have released. And the one that I've got here, or have been testing today, is Ether. And it is, so it's an oud leading fragrance, but glorious. So if I'm gonna say, if I wrote here, wow, wow, wow. When Kevin likes something, he always says, wow, 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 wow. So yeah, wow, wow, wow is my response. Now, my wonderful editors are with me today, and I asked actually, as soon as I came in, they're like, whoa, great fragrance, it really pops. I asked them, what did they detect? Now, I haven't looked at notes, okay? So I purposely just wanted to go, not vague, but just what is it doing? Citrus, I got spicy, and which is yes and yes from me also. So that is a sort of a very bright, sort of effervescent to glorious day today in Melbourne. Perfect fragrance for this weather. Spicy, but I'm also getting like a balsamic fir, sort of not necessarily cedar, but definitely I guess the balsamic sort of notes, you know, that sort of beautiful woody vibrance to it. Oud is definitely present. So it is an oud fragrance. Hang on, I'm gonna try not to bump my mic. Oud, I'm deep in the dry down. Oud is definitely present, but there are those other components there. There is a spiciness that's coming through. So maybe Ether will become part of the lineup. I'm gonna say very high chances that, and if you haven't tested it out, I'd recommend it to you. Ether is absolutely, it's glorious. Wow, 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 as Kevin would say. All right, as the Maté ambassador, have a look at this photo. So I caught up with, for those who saw the episode on, or the Maté Talk last week in Sydney, I was with ALEXANE, and I devilishly didn't put any sugar into the mate. I always encourage, and it's purely from a health point of view, too much sugar is not good for you, period. And also that you want to accustom your taste buds to drink it without the sugar. Anything with sugar is going to be amazing, but so you want the actual real taste. Anyway, I love her face. I love that she does this, like, okay. And then I'm like, do you like it? Is it okay? She's like, yeah, it's fine. It's like green tea. It's not like green tea. I'm going to give you a heads up on that. And she pushed it aside. I love that she just like removes it and never touches it again. When we finished, she was very busy. So just a massive thank you to ALEXANE for last week, being able to do that. The launch of Juliet Has a Gun was going on and a whole bunch of things were happening. But as soon as we said, okay, we're done, she's like, get it out of here. There was no more of this. Let me just have another taste. So now have a look at this photo. This is my good friend, Big Mike. For those who saw the live, Mike has an incredible PDM collection. Now look at this one. It's beginning to go downhill. And this one, and now the crowning glory of this experience. Now in his own defense, so he did say to me that it was hot and he burnt his tongue. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He probably did burn his tongue, but I just love the succession of expressions as he drinks his mate with no sugar. So for those who are new to Maté Talk, Yerba mate, it is a very bitter drink that us South Americans, in particular Argentinians, drink. The key is not to drink it without sugar, and therefore you are a gaucho, so a South American cowboy basically, or an Argentinian cowboy. Yeah, so I am the Mate's ambassador. Actually, we should do a meetup, Melbourneites, we should do a meetup at Oillataguerre. I'll bring, actually, this is an idea. Just being, how about, well, let's do a meetup. This is improv right here. Let's do a meetup at Oillataguerre. Tell me who's coming. I will buy you a bombilla, so one of these babies here. I'll see if I can get it for a fairly cheap price. And that way, because normally what happens is we all share the same straw, the same bombilla. I don't think anybody wants to be doing that. So I'll buy you your bombilla, we'll get some cups, I'll bring the yerba mate, and then we'll have a mate experience, boom. All right, now let me move on. The thing is, you want to become a member. I'm like, no, I don't. No, you do. So by being a member, it costs you $4. $4 Aussie, which is like seasonally adjusted in Europe or the US, like 42 cents or something. Anyway, so for $4 a month, you get a chance to be put onto this wheel. So I'm at the spin. And you want to become a member because there's something big happening with this. It's not going to be on this particular spin, but in the coming weeks, we're working on something. I don't want to reveal too much, but look at this glorious display unit. This is worth like 200 bucks. This is a Nishane Discovery set. Super bougie, it's got all the fragrances here, explanation of all on the card. So this, the people of Libertine Perfumery donated this. This will be given away to a member of the channel. So you want to make sure that you are in this so that you can win that. All right, so let me show you, let me show you this. I'm gonna start the wheel. To become a member, just jump on the homepage of the NFC channel. You'll see there's a join button, click on that, and boom, you're away. $4 a month, you can turn it on or turn it off. There are some gangsters of the channel, people like Fred and Sem and Max and Ricardo, and who else is the gangsters of the, oh look, these beautiful people here. They've been here, they've been supporting the channel for the past 12 plus months. You'll see that their icon is a yellow NFC face with a star, a red star on it. These are the gangsters. They've been members for a very, very long time, and I thank you guys for it. I appreciate that. So in here are over 60 people who are currently members, which is pretty exciting. I'm gonna spin twice. Good luck. Oh, turn the audio on. Good luck, everybody. Catherine, new member. Catherine, fantastic. Congratulations to you. So you have a chance to let me send you something. Tell me fragrances that you love, things that you're enjoying. I will then put together a nice little parcel and send it out to you. This is anywhere in the world, by the way. If you're not connected to me via DM or Instagram, click here. Good luck. Next one. Isabella. Boom. Isabella, congratulations to you also. So it was, all the ladies were winning today. Congrats. Congrats to both of you guys. So if you want to become a member, as I mentioned, jump on the page, the homepage, and you'll be able to click on that. Bada bing. All right, let me move on. So the timer begins now. One thing that I've been testing for a little while now, and it's because I get a lot of questions asked from around the world, and it's to combat blind buying. It's my mission to, okay, so there are the Spartans of the FragCon.
This is Sparta!
You guys are awesome. However, it's not cheap buying a niche perfume. I mean, walking in price is normally about $300 Aussie. So that's a lot of money. And so the fear of, for me, the fear of blind buying and then all of a sudden realizing I don't like this, regardless of what notes I saw, scares me to death to the point where I just don't do it. So one idea that I've had for a while, and I pitched it originally to Libertine, is that what if we did these masterclasses alongside experts, essentially, in their business, Michael Marzano, the great Michael Marzano, and they liked this idea, they executed it. We did 5 different masterclasses. If these are the ones here, you can jump on the Libertine website. The beauty of this now is that you can watch this at your leisure, at your own pace. And so for Aussies, you'll buy the masterclass, you'll get the samples, and then you have a chance to experience this and watch the video alongside the tour bus. So I'm the perfume lover, and Michael is the expert in this space, and we share, I guess, our love for these particular brands. This was a great success, or has been a great success for Libertine. We've done 4 more. There are 4 more in the wings: Amouage, Santa Maria Novella, BDK, and Trudon. So those are ready to pop in, I'm gonna say, another 3 to 4 weeks. They'll be coming out. This concept here, unfortunately, is only for Australia. And I've had a lot of people say, I wish that you could do this on an international level. So I tested this concept. This is the very first one, which is a brand called ROJA. I wanted to test it with a brand that doesn't necessarily ping very high when it comes to, I mean, if you type in Rhodes, there's not a lot of reviews other than mine. I think it's an awesome brand. Somebody's calling me, I'll just turn that off. I think it's an awesome brand, very diverse, something for everybody. So I created this Discovery series. This too was a great success. We had a lot of people who bought the Discovery set and then followed me. Now you can, this type of media, you can consume it in one of 2 ways. One, you could follow my directions, which is buy the Discovery set, wait for it to arrive, and then follow me in this video, or just watch the video and enjoy it as, I guess, you know, a normal review. So I'm now going deeper into this space here, and I do want to show you this. I'm gonna fall out of camera, excuse me. Up, we're back. All right, so, I recently did a video on Sugar Leather, which is a NUIT Nomade fragrance. The whole house is incredible. The whole house is incredible. And it was exciting to see. I put a question out to the channel, which was, are you familiar with this brand? And if you are, you know, what do you like? And the response was phenomenal, it was awesome. Admittedly though, I also then asked another question, are you familiar with this? So are you familiar with the brand, yes or no? And out of 450 votes, half of them said no, never heard of it before. And also after doing the review on the Sugar Leather, I got a lot of comments also saying, hey, I'd love to know more. So there will be coming out at the end of this month a Discovery series episode. I'm gonna break it up into 2 because there's 10 fragrances. I don't wanna rush through it, so it'll be 5 and 5. And we'll be talking about all things NUIT Nomade. Awesome brand that is just incredible. They're just really, really impressive fragrances. Very affordable, I think. I think for if you're new into niche, this is a great place to be. Now, what I've done in partnership with them is that below you'll see that there's a link. If you click on that link, that'll take you to their website, and will also clock in free delivery anywhere in the world. So you'll have access to that. And then you can use the code NFC10, which will give you a 10% across the whole board. Now, my recommendation is, well, this is what I'm encouraging, get this, get the Discovery set, lead into, have this arrive, so that at the end of the month, when I then do the dual episodes, you can then follow along with me, rather than having to, if you did want to follow along, have to wait and blah, blah, blah. So this way it lands and we can then do this together. And then after that, if you like any of the fragrances, then you can continue to use that NFC 10, continue to use that link to get your free delivery anywhere around the world. More of this is coming. So I've been in heavy conversation. So when I go to Exxons and to Cannes for the trade shows, these are the ideas that I'm sharing with the brands that I fall in love with. And I'm like, I'd like to do this with you guys. Would you support me by doing a special pricing for my fans, free delivery things? And so these are the brands that have jumped on board and said, yeah, we'd love to support you. So boom. All right. The next announcement, or the last announcement, is on the 27th of May, I've scheduled to do a live. And so mark this date, because again, working with a local distributor and a local brand, it's actually an international brand, but they distribute it here in Australia. we're doing something big, and I'm talking big. There's going to be giveaways, there's a whole bunch of things. It is a live that will be happening, so for those who saw last month's or this month's live, we did it in partnership last month because we're now in May. We did last month's live. We did it in partnership with City Perfume in Sydney and Michael Marzano. This one here, I'm doing something different and new again. Anyway, well, I don't want to say too much because it's still in play. Other than there will be giveaways. There is a big thing that we've got sort of in store. So 27th, Monday, 27th of May here in Australia, which is the 26th on a Sunday across the world. Boom, boom, boom. Talk about, I love when I do like a lineup video, I'm slow and deliberate and just, you know, and now I'm like hypo. Because I'm working against the clock. I want to keep things moving. Okay. For those who may not be familiar or aware, we're doing a lot of work on the community page. I mentioned before that this is something we want to continue to explore. So you'll be seeing a lot more posts coming through. One of the posts that came that I think was released yesterday or the day before is ask me a question that I can answer here on Maté Talk. Some of them, I think there was one question that I'm going to actually build for next week, so that'll be something for next week. But there were two questions that were asked, one by Tim. Oop, here it is. And so what's a house that's least talked about? And that is Foyer 1833. I am always banging on about this fragrance house. If I type in Foyer 1833, there's hardly anything out there. I don't know why. I've heard some people say, oh, it's not that great. I'm gonna refute that completely. And if I showed you my collection, I could set up a retail outlet, all right? So I've got a vast collection of the Foyer 1833s. No matter who I show, they fall in love. Even blind, I'm like, spray this, what do you think? And they're like, whoa, this is great. So this is a really, really good house. Some of the concerns that I get raised is that they're a little bit hard to find. Okay, so they're a bit hard to find. One thing that is, and I completely respect this, is that there is a gray market. I'm going to go down a rabbit's hole if I start talking about this. But my fear with the gray market is that there's also a lot of fakes. And my fear with that is that when something is discounted by 40 and 50%, there's got to be a reason for that. You know, a brand won't discount their, I mean, regardless who they are and regardless what industry they're in. If someone's discounting something by 40 to 50%, for me, it throws up a red flag. And I do get a lot, just a heads up, I get a lot of messages, and I got one just recently where someone did a video and said, this doesn't smell right. Is this a legit bottle? I don't know. It was an Amouage bottle. I don't know, I'm not with Amouage, so I don't know what it should or shouldn't look like. So my thing is, this is why I don't blind buy also. I prefer to buy from retail outlets or somewhere I can trust, because that way I'm going to spend good money and I want to know that I'm getting the real thing. So Foyer 1833, they limit their distribution. It's true that they're not found on these discounted sites. If you want to buy off them, you got to go to an actual retailer or their store. If you ever get a chance to go into one of their stores, I have a few around the world, they're incredible. It is an experience in and of itself. I love walking into the Milan one. Recently, a subscriber, her name is Vera, she went to the one in Japan. And she said the same thing, just the experience of walking into the store is incredible. Now, their range it'll blow your brain. It is so diverse. So if you love niche perfumery, these people are just incredible. So Tim, in answer to your question, Foyer 1833, I'm going to do a lineup video on those guys because they just need to be. I think they're an awesome brand and they have awesome fragrances. And they're Argentinians, son argentinos. Es un argentino who's, and they source their stuff from Patagonia. Anyway, the whole thing is amazing. The second question, there was other questions, but this other question that I want to highlight, boom, is Sir Siage Sniffington. I love your name. I love this name. It's such a cool name. And if I had my time over, if I'm starting in niche, if I had my time over, how would I do it different? Two things, very quickly, because I don't want this to be a long Maté talk. One, I wish there was a classification system. That's a lead into what I want to talk about today. So a classification system being new recruit, a semi-pro, a veteran, 5-star general. I wish I had this when I walked in, bit of a chart to go, all right, I need to start here, because as a new recruit, brand new into niche, came in from, had a really big designer collection. I'm talking healthy. And I went to Amouage's Interlude Man. I mean, that blew my brain. I'm like, what just happened? And if anything, that scared me away from the entire collection. You see, so yeah. So if I wish that someone had said, don't start there, start here. You know, yeah, go into Amouage, but start at Reflection Man, and then move your way through. You see. So that's one, a classification system, and I'm going to talk about that in a second in regards to oud. And the second thing is the size of the fragrance bottle. When I first came in, and because I would do this with designer fragrances, and that is always get the bigger bottle for an extra $200 or $100 or whatever it was, you can upsize and, you know, bigger bang for your dollars. One thing I've discovered, and this is true of me and true of just about everybody I know who's currently involved in niche perfumery as a hobby, as a recreation, as something that you do for pleasure and fun, is that you have a vast collection. So so if they have an option, this is my recommendation, if the brand has an option between a 50 mil or 100 mil, buy the 50. You're never gonna use it. You will, if you have 10 bottles of 50 mils, it's gonna take you, I don't know, 5-10 years to use it all. How do I know this? How many, and I want you to think about this, how many of these little samples, which is normally about 1.5 to 2 mil, how many of these little samples do you have? And how long does it take for you to actually finish this thing? You know, even if you do 4 or 5 sprays of this baby, it'll take you maybe, I don't know, 6, 7, 10 goes before this thing is gone. So I'm telling you now, a 50 mil bottle, you're gonna, if you have the option to buy, save your money, buy a 50 ml bottle, and then utilize that money that you saved into getting something else. So that's my recommendations. Oh, but then in the end, you do you. That's my favorite line. You do you. Okay. I'm gonna slow down a tad. Slow down a little bit. Here we go. On the community tab, I asked the question, what fragrance note would you like me to explore? And I put a collection of 5 or 6, I think it was. Now the 2 clear winners was oud in #1 position, and Rose. So happy to tell you that this coming Sunday, an oud lineup will happen. It's a 7 fragrances that I would recommend. However, if I look at my classification, new recruit, semi-pro, veteran, 5-star general, the oud lineup that's coming out is only for semi-pros onwards, all right? So if you are a new recruit, I'm gonna give you 2 suggestions today, and I'm gonna move through, because I asked another question, and it was, tell me your favorite oud fragrance. We got 54 replies, 45. We got 45 replies, but even in those replies, some people put like 3 or 4 different fragrances. So if you are interested, excuse me, I'm going so fast. If you are interested in oud as a fragrance note, have a look at that question. There's a lot of beautiful suggestions. And if anything, see which ones ping more than once. And so that will quickly sort of narrow down as to what you should be hunting in. Anyway, so there's a lot of recommendations there. I'm gonna make some recommendations to you today within the classification system that I'd love to utilize for new recruits. So in new recruits, I'm gonna give you 2 fragrances, one for brand new. So you've come in from designers and you're shifting across into niche, then start here. This is Creed. Well, I say that like you don't know. This is Creed, and it's Royal Oud. Now, Creed, obviously, if you're brand new into all things niche, you'll be aware of either Green Irish Tweed or even Aventus. Their entire collection is phenomenal. I'm a big fan. So I vote for these guys. I love all their fragrances. I have a very deep collection when it comes to anything to do with Creed. Royal Oud, I felt very grown up when I finally felt that I had graduated to oud. Now, it's not a animalic, you know, punchy oud, and we'll cover that in just a second. However, it will give you, if you're brand new, a chance to understand the complexity of oud as a fragrance note. Give me 1 second. Okay, so a lot of people argue there's no oud here. I'm gonna say I don't know, other than if I look at the website and I look at what the brand is saying, they're saying that there is oud here. I have spoken to, very early on, a deep oud lover, and he vouches that there is 100% oud in here. It is more cedar-like, so you're getting more the cedar, woody elements of the oud as opposed to the sort of barnyard, sort of more animalic component of the oud. This is an easy, so if you're brand new, if you're a new recruit, this is an easy love. It is very masculine, so there is a lot of grunt to this particular fragrance. It starts off very bright, very forest-like, like you're walking through a sunny day, just a pine forest of some sort, a cedar woods, all that sort of stuff. But just glorious, just a really glorious fragrance. A high recommendation for new recruits. So I'm just trying to make sure that I'm covering off. Yes, all right. So the other one now, moving more towards the appreciation of the oud note with a tinge of animalics. Because, okay, so we're not talking about fecal yet or barnyard. I'm just talking about the more animalic component, like there's something more going on than just woods, as opposed like royal oud would be. This is oud ECLAT, oud ECLAT, which is oud glow, essentially. It's a French word. Me and French, oh my gosh. I pronounce every letter. I should pronounce the T, so it's oud ECLAT. This one here is perfect for those who are brand new to oud. I mean, like the new recruits, you'll be able to appreciate what that oud note is. What I love about this is that it has this beautiful balance of florals, spicy. It has a slight cedar-like quality, similar to royal oud, but now with that distinct oud note. The animalic component is definitely in there. I believe there is even a leather note, so you're just getting a tinge of the animalics, and so it feels comfortable. It feels very wearable. This is something that anybody can actually enjoy. I've got a good friend of mine who does not like perfume. Well, when I say that, he doesn't go out of his way for perfume. He'll wear it. I gave him a sample of this, and he's like, that oud fragrance is really good, and it is. So there's a beautiful balance between the florals, the spices, the woods, and then there's that beautiful oud note that comes through. Let me make sure, yes, yeah. So if anything, to define this fragrance, it's oud warmth. So it has, I know that there's a brand called Mancera or Montel. They do a lot of oud fragrances. I feel like they're a little bit more aromatic, so the oud has been toned down. So in that kind of space, this one here is my recommendation. I would put this above those guys there. And it's Miller Harris. Lynn Harris is the perfumer. She's exceptional. Beautiful brand. All right, okay, you know what? This is about to pop. I'm gonna stop. I'll be right back. And back again. All right, so let me wrap this baby up. I got 5 minutes on the clock. I'm gonna show you 3 more. This can be done. Here we go. The next one that I would recommend to you is, now we're moving into a semi-pro area, all right? So I know you're gonna refute me. When as soon as you see this bottle, you're gonna go, no, not possible. Semi-pros, you qualify for this. This is not cheap. This is probably why people go, what? I would recommend, so if you're a semi-pro and you really want to appreciate oud and you want to start moving deeper into the more glorious, animalic, fecal, barnyard stuff, which I know sounds like, you're like, what? Who would want that in their life? Give yourself time and you'll be like, baby, bring that to me. I would recommend to you Amber AOUD, excuse me. I would recommend to you Amber AOUD by ROJA. This is incredible, all right? So as an experience, as a joyful ride, you know, just something that takes you in so many different directions, this is incredible. Now, I was I've been wearing it for a while. Oh man, it's just gorgeous. All right, when it opens, and I love that in a true ROJA style, you're getting this evolution and movement and waves. It's, you know, this, think of like a silk bolt. You know, you roll that thing out and it just has this sort of, it waves, and there's texture in its movement alone. Okay, so this is what amber AOUD does to you. Starts off beautifully citrus, very sublime, very gentle, just these glorious citrus notes that come through, these lemon, these limes, but it's not sugary, and it's not overtly sweet or anything of that nature, but you can detect this beautiful citrus opening that it has. It then moves through to this wonderful rose, and the AOUD is just beginning to come through. So give that another, say, 30 minutes. You're getting this rose that's beginning to emerge, and then this beautiful AOUD that it comes in. It goes a little bit animalic, a little bit on the more, not barnyard, just a little bit more on that animalic, but then when it dries down, it actually goes to, there is orris in the heart, so the iris butter, and so it has this beautiful powdery, clean, gentleness to it. It's actually an incredible ride, honestly, from the way it opens, the way it moves, and then it dances, and it just goes around everywhere. This has the subtlety of being a beautiful fragrance that's around you, but yet it has this presence in sillage. It does create this beautiful wave that extends from you. When I'm wearing it, Sandra, who's not a big oud lover, to the point where it's not something that she goes, oh, you're wearing an oud fragrance. She's just like, wow, that's beautiful. So there's all these different elements that begin to happen. It's not cheap, but presentation-wise, this is something, I don't think it comes in a smaller bottle. Anyway, I went against my own advice. I wanted the bigger bottle. So yeah, it's just gorgeous. You know, the Swarovski crystal, the way it sits on the shelf, the color of the juice. Semi-pros, you won't regret it. It's a fragrance you'll have for the rest of your life. The atomizer, the way it does the spray of the spread is just incredible. All right, let me move on. 5 more minutes. Here we go. Veterans, small drink. SOSPIRO. I love SOSPIRO. Okay, firstly, Christian Provenzano is the perfumer across the entire house. The SOSPIROs, you just know you're in for a potent and powerful ride. All right, so we now got a V8 under the hood. I know nothing about cars, by the way. I said that like I know something. But other than the fact that I could, like a V8 has that grumble, that grrr. Okay, well, SOSPIRO's has that grumble. Even like Dolce Melodia, which is something that actually when I went home, Sandra was wearing, and it is glorious. The sillage of this thing, the projection, is just incredible. Yet it's a floral, feminine fragrance, but yet the presence of it is spectacular. Okay, so ERBA Oud is incredible. My recommendation is don't overspray. So I would say 2 to 3 maximum will take you for the rest of the day, 12 plus hours without a problem. This is only for, what did I put down? Veterans. And the reason for that is the oud is now a lot more present. So there's a lot more kick to this particular oud. It's not necessarily barnyard, but definitely poopy. It has there's more of a fecal component. See, I don't want to say, because it makes it sound like it's offensive. It's not offensive, it's actually divine. Because it's part of that ERBA sort of DNA, on opening, you'll have a mixture of like a rock melon or a melon mixed in with a mango, mixed in with like a peach note. So this beautiful fruity, tropical component of it. However, it does come off and it does move into that oud component of it. I've got it here. It's awesome. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. The mango peach component of it mixed in with that oud. I don't know if it may sound a bit weird, but it actually works. It works really, really well. It works. Just as I was pulling my nose away, like a mango-y, sort of sassy. Anyway, it's just gorgeous. Veterans. big recommendation. Oud, ERBA Oud, I absolutely love. Now, this is now for 5-star generals. I saw this meme, which another influencer had put out, which I thought was funny, and it's a guy with tears in his eyes, and the comment says, "I'm wearing a niche fragrance, but nobody gives me compliments." And then it has the Fragrantica sort of breakup, you know, and it says, I think, like the smell of a dead possum, followed by gasoline, followed by burnt rubber, and all these sort of like wacky notes. So, not that this fragrance falls into that, and TOSKOVAT, David, if you're watching, I'm not saying that that falls into that, but what I am saying is that if you are a new recruit, all right, and you've just come into niche, this compared to this, these are worlds apart. When this baby opens, this is Age of Innocence, by the way. When this baby opens, it has the most unusual but repulsive attraction sort of notes in it. Has this strawberry, bubblegum, cotton candy opening. So it has a smell that you're familiar with, like you go, oh, that's nice. But just behind it, you're getting slapped. It's almost like someone's giving you a hug, but at the same time, they're slapping you in the back of the head. So you're like, am I meant to be feeling good about this or not so good about this? The heart notes that are in the fragrance is, and this is listed on his website, is burnt rubber, gasoline, and something else. You know, there's also rose. I do not detect a rose. Okay, so I'm deep in the dry down now. The oud is very distinct. It is very poopy-like, but it has this weird sugary sort of, I think there is some sugar note in the base also. So those early sort of confectionery notes that you get at the start, there is a semblance of that, but the oud has definitely taken over. It's unusual. Let me just say this, when I'm wearing this, Sandra goes, and she like rubs her nose and like, what are you wearing? So this is not one. I mean, I think one time I wore it, we were having a family dinner and I was wearing this, and actually she put the food down and she's like, is that you? I'm like, maybe. I forgot that we're having family dinner. So it's not one, 5-star generals, you'd appreciate this. It's complex, it's unusual. It's something that is exciting because it's so like different. Not one that I would wear on a first date, because unless of course that other person is also into niche of niche and they're like, whoa, my man, you smell great. But yeah, it's quite a unique oud fragrance, Age of Innocence, TOSKOVAT, who is more of an avant-garde creator. My recommendation. Boom, bing, boom, there we're done. 9 minutes. All right, so I went 4 minutes over. Sue me. No, don't sue me. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. That was a bit of speed, but anyway, I think we got there in the end. Become a member. There is a huge gift set coming through. The 2 winners, please DM me. So make sure you jump on my Insta. Send me what is it that you love. Tell me fragrances that you enjoy. I'll put together a little sample set. And when I say there's probably about 7 or 8, 10 fragrances that I send out. Sometimes I get a bit excited, but anyway, because it's fun. Thank you. We'll see you guys all on the next Maté Talk. 10 minutes. What wasn't too? Lie! You lied!